Okay, so let's check out a few more settings in 3D Augment. And if you're looking at the 3D Augment tab, you'll see that there are a series of menu options along the right side, and most of them you won't need. The bottom two might be useful to you. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my mouse wheel, and I'm going to see if it'll let me. I have to click on it. There we go. And let me zoom in a little bit so I can see my form a little better. And now we'll look at these options that are off to the side. Let's look at the light options, right? So under the light options, you have three sort of separate levels that are here. And I selected reliable options that work well in most instances, but you may find there are times where you would like to change them, right? First of all, you can set the intensity of the light beam here. By default, it's set to 50%, and it looks like this. I had changed that to 80% so that they're a little brighter. You can go to 100%, but they tend to sort of blow everything out, and it's not maybe as attractive. But it'll depend on your preferences and your screen. Okay, the other thing is beam intensity, right? Is how bright the beam of light is through here, right? By default, I believe it's set to medium. I sort of like the high fog so that the beam looks pretty bright, and then you could go back and even make it very soft. But I have assigned it to high, and I think by default it's medium. You can also click on Haze, and you can see that this actually puts movement of fog in the air. Now, this is a little bit memory intensive, right? Because you're adding a graphic to it, and I haven't found it to be very necessary, at least in the learning phase, so I leave it off. The last option down here is Ambient Light. By default, the program is set to a medium level of ambient light. It's like we left the house lights or the work lights on. How much just ambient light is there in the room? You can even go to a highlight mode, and you can see that's like the work lights on. You could think of this as the work lights or the house lights. Low is a good compromise where I can still see things, but it's pretty dark. And then you can also just turn them completely off so that you can see your form here, let's go ahead and even look. So we could see our form, right? So that's light. Let's go back to low. And that is the lighting options for Augment 3D, and there'll be more in a little.